Hi, welcome back to My Perspective. I'm your host, Shelby Wright, and today we're going to be talking about how to get through the 40-hour week, the 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever your hours are, corporate life. But before we get into today's episode, I want to share my updates. So my updates of this week is what sparked the inspiration of this podcast, is I'm absolutely loving my internship. Like I've said already before, it's not necessarily a topic but the internship as a whole is so interesting, and the company takes care of its employees, and the internship program, it's a whole program, which I was gravitating towards when finding a job in an internship. Was I wanted a company that had a whole program set up to really set us up for success, let us learn, just show us the ropes of their company and why we should work for them, and how much we can give, how much they can learn from us, and how much we can learn from them. So a little bit about my internship, some cool things is next week, as soon as I get back from Chicago, that's my second update, is I'm going to Chicago once this episode is released, is we're doing a job walk because I'm in construction at LAX. And then after LAX, we're going to Topgolf. So two things, the job walk is going to be so cool. We get to walk down the runway, see everything they've been building, where after this is built, like no one will be able to go on that ever again, unless you're obviously working at LAX. But one day I'll be flying and I'll be like, oh my gosh, the company I worked for built that and I got to walk it. Secondly, is we're going to Topgolf, which is so much fun. We're going for a few hours, all the interns and I'm so excited because I heard it's a lot of fun. They pay for all the food and alcohol, and we just get a bond. And so far, everyone's been super sweet. There's one intern that sits across from me every single day, and she's just the sweetest person ever. And she's so funny. She has like the most quirky personality that makes work so fun to go to. And she also bought me Starbucks today, which was so sweet of her. And I told her next one's on me. I think I'm going to buy her matcha because she doesn't like it. She doesn't like matcha, but I want to find her one that she'll like. But I guess I could also just drink it myself if she doesn't like it, and then maybe I'll buy 3 drinks. I'm shadowing the marketing department because that is something I would love to stay with this company after my internship, but move to maybe a different department or stay in the department I'm in until there's an opening in something else that I'm interested in and qualified for, obviously. But next is I'm going to Chicago because Max has All-Star break, which is basically they get 4 days off of all of baseball, gets 4 days off. I thought his brother and his best friend were going to go visit him, but plans changed, so now it's his mom, brother, and I'm so excited because I've never been to Chicago, and obviously I haven't seen Max in so long. And I decided, I was super hesitant about my internship, like going away on a trip last minute, but it was either this or go during Max's birthday, which is in August, but I'm also going to Canada in August, so I thought maybe it'd be better to break up my trips, and my internship might be over before my Canada trip. And then I have one last update, is I went to a run club that just started near me. I follow 2 girls who teach Pilates near me, and one of them already has a girls group of just local girls to do events, and she reposted one of the girls that goes to the Pilates place account where she started a run club because she wants to run a marathon or a half marathon and just wanted some girls to run with. And I usually only run during my follicular and ovulatory phase, but mainly my follicular phase, or also like people walk. So I thought this would be a great way to meet people because honestly, I've been living here for almost 3 weeks, I think, and I haven't actually branched out and met anyone. I haven't even hung out with anyone that I do know in the area. So I was like, okay, Shelby, you need to, yes, you're not settled in yet, but you just need to get out of your comfort zone already. So I followed the account and I was like, okay, this is also a great way to get Miso out of the house because he's obviously home all day while I'm at work. So I went. I didn't go to the first one, actually. I had to go to San Diego for work, but I went to the second one. Oh my goodness. I ran 3.4 miles or something, a 5K. We stopped once to turn around. I've never ran that far and not took a break, which was so cool because I never realized that running with other people pushes you. And I've always wanted to run longer distances, and I never knew I could do that just in the first place. So that was really great. The next one, I'm definitely just going to walk. I think actually the next one I'm going to be in Chicago. So I guess I'll be going to their fourth one because I think they do one every week. I'll just walk the next ones and still bond with the people that are walking. I don't need to. I think the people who run always run, but then I can meet other people as well. And I went alone, which was scary, and Miso loved it. And so one of the girls, I already got a text message from someone I met to go surfing, and I haven't been surfing in so long, and my dad brought my board to my apartment, our new board. He took my board actually, so now I have a Sam Adams one or whatever. I was going to wait to surf until Max came back because he wants to surf. I guess someone else wants to surf with me, and I'd be so down because I don't want to say I'm not good, but I'm not, I don't want anyone to think that I know what I'm doing. So I'd rather go with someone who doesn't know what they're doing, just so we're on the same level, So that's super fun, and I'm happy that I actually am meeting people, which is really crazy, and I'm new, so all the fun things. So my obsession of this week has been going to bed at 9 p.m., 9:30. I want to go to bed at 8:30, because every time I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my God, I want to sleep more. And this is my obsession of the week because before I moved, could not fall asleep. I was going to bed at 4 a.m. I was having really bad insomnia, super bad anxiety about working a 9 to 5 and having to wake up early when I couldn't fall asleep. So it gave me more anxiety to where then I couldn't sleep, which is just wild. So that's my obsession of the week, is I've been going to bed so early. Oh my gosh, my obsession of the week should be my Oura ring. But basically I got an Oura ring for graduation. It's really helped with, and I love numbers, I love analytics. And every single morning, it tells me exactly how long I slept for, how long I was in deep sleep, REM, what time I should go to bed, all this stuff that I actually find so interesting. So that was cool. And finally, I have a nighttime and morning routine set. So I will make a video on morning routine, a podcast, because I love morning routines, but I haven't been able to make one because I haven't had a morning routine because I was waking up at 11 every day because I was going to bed at 4 a.m. Something that I've been working on this week has been staying in contact with my friends and using Snapchat, actually. So I know that ages me to sound really young, but I've realized that when I'm off Snapchat, I isolate myself more with my friends who do use it. I would love to just be off of it. I don't really use Snapchat as a form of social media. I'm not really looking at people's stories unless I'm really, really bored. But I realized that when I don't use Snapchat because my friends use it, then I just don't tell anyone that's going on in what's going on in my life, even if it's something super small and insignificant. I realized that if I'm on Snapchat and just sending them, today I went on a walk and one of my neighbors stopped me and told me I can ring his doorbell anytime and Miso can play with his dog because he has a young dog and wanted to find someone to have a play date with him. He's like a dad. I told my friends that. I was like, oh my God, I'm meeting people. It's so much fun. Miso's going to have a friend soon. And I probably wouldn't text one of my friends that. So I guess those little moments make me feel more connected with my long distance friends, and they probably feel that I care about them more because when I wasn't on Snapchat or not on social media that much, I know we just didn't talk for a few months, and it's such a simple daily send a video to one of your friends to check up on them. And sometimes, yes, it's a lot of energy to watch their stories, but also so is texting. So I guess gotta pick my poison. What can I take on for the day? And there's no real pressure to send or respond to videos immediately. Those are my obsessions and something I'm working on this week. Also, all my updates. Let's just get into today's episode about how to make the 8 to 5 work. I personally, my hours are technically 8 to 4:30 because I won't take an hour lunch. That's just stupid to me. Maybe you work 9 to 5. Maybe you work 7 to 4, whatever it is. How to make the 40-hour week work for you, because I've only been doing it, 3 weeks, but I've got it down. And I'm actually shocked at myself. I was freaking out about this job. Yes, I've only been working there for a little bit, but these are my tips and tricks to what I've found has honestly made it manageable and not feel like my entire life. So I calculated how much of our lives are spent at work. I think it was like a third of is spent at work, the hours. And then more than a third is spent sleeping. And then you have a little bit time left for your life. So I was like, okay, if our third of our week is spent at work, it's got to be the best freaking work ever. And I'm not even doing my dream job. These are small habits, small tweaks to your job that you could do to make it feel a little bit better, go a little bit easier. Small wellness and holistic tools that you can use that don't require a lot of energy or money. And I guess I want to work in a health and wellness company one day. So I guess I'm taking my knowledge of that field and implementing it into what I currently do to make myself feel a little bit more at home. And let's just get started. Let's go in order of how your day starts without talking about morning routines. First things first, let's talk about going to bed. You're going to go to bed early. You need at least 8 hours of sleep. I know that sounds like a lot, but you're going to do it. You have so much capability to go to bed. Honestly, you're going to wake up refreshed, ready to start your day and be more productive at work. Everybody's going the best tool. If I'm tired, it's as if I'm freaking hungover. And I'm not hungover, I promise you. I'm just tired. And this will prevent you from going to buy Starbucks in the morning. That saves you $5-7. And then it also prevents you probably from not meal prepping. We're going to get into meal prepping. But then you're going to get to work, realize you're hungry, order food, spend more money there. You're tired, you're going to drink your coffee, you're not going to be hydrated. You actually will get dehydrated from drinking your coffee. And you probably won't get all your work done. So then the next day, you're just going to have so much more on your to-do list. So if you get a full night's rest, if you don't get a full night's rest, you're slowly compounding just little things that aren't going to make you have a great day. But if you get a full night's rest, you'll be able to have more of a clear mind to start your day, add all these little habits I'm going to talk to you about. It's going to be a good day. You're going to remember it as a good day. We're going to talk about flex hours. I'm pretty sure that not all jobs let you do this, but luckily I work in construction. I'm pretty sure tech is very similar to this as well. But if you have flex hours is when you have to work 8 hours. I have to work 8 hours, but any time of the day. Not necessarily, like I can't go into work at like 6 p.m., but I can go into work 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Today, I went in at 6 a.m. I worked out from 5 to 6, went in. It was around the corner, so I went to work. I walk in. I'm the first one in. Meanwhile, I'm an intern. I probably shouldn't be there at 6 a.m. And I sit down, open up my laptop, I was about to make a green tea. I sat there realizing the only assignments they have given me so far require calling people the whole day. And nobody's going to answer my calls at 6 a.m. So I realized that because I didn't know what else to do yet, I had to shut my computer and head back home because probably shouldn't even be calling people at 7 a.m. Maybe not even 8 a.m. But I came back at 8 a.m. But basically, if you know what you're supposed to be doing, because me not knowing what I'm supposed to be doing isn't always typical. Basically, go into work early because you're going to thank yourself. We'll talk about what to do before you get into work early, but I just wanted to preface this before we talk about movement and stuff. Not only does starting your workday early provide you with a couple hours of peace and quiet, nobody's going to be calling you. Maybe me, but nobody else is going to be calling you or emailing you, teaming you, telling you have to get on a call, you have to do all this. So that gives you an hour, 2 hours before work where it's absolutely silent. You can just get everything done on your to-do list as much as you can so that when the calls come in, when the emails, the text message, the team messages, Slack, you're prepared to answer them with what you already have done for the day. And it doesn't feel like, oh my God, all these people are interrupting you. You just get time to have uninterrupted work hours. So I can go in as early as 6 a.m. And so that means I can leave at 2:30 p.m. 2:30. That's actually insane. You take your lunch at 12, finish at 12:30, and then you have 2 hours left? That's crazy. Versus if you go in at 8 and you get out at 4:30, kind of your whole day. 9 to 5, that is your whole day. And knowing me, if I have to be at work late, I'm just going to wake up late. So I'm not really benefiting myself at all. But if I have to be in early, then I will wake up early and I'll have a longer day after, more daylight, more time to hang out with my dog. My dog actually prefers to be home alone in the morning because he likes to sleep in versus the whole day. So I have time to take him on a walk, take him to the beach, whatever it is. So also, it's also giving you probably a sense of accomplishment and productivity. I know when I go in early, I'm like, when I went in at 6 a.m., I was like, I'm the best freaking intern they have. Nobody else was here when I was here. Also, whenever I'm the last one out, I'm like, what the heck am I doing here? Why does everyone leave and I'm still at the office? I need to leave. I've also realized that leaving work after I finished a whole 8 hours, I feel so proud of myself because I'm leaving the workday at 3:30, and I have so many other things that I can be doing. I'm also in school, so I still have classes I have to get done. But it's just a sense of a positive tone that you've set upon your day because you have so much time on your hands now that you didn't think you would have. And honestly, you're probably more productive in the morning anyways. Okay, so I'm going to finish the rest of this episode tomorrow because Miso is not having it. But I'll talk to you guys about working out in the morning and how that can improve your life as well. So another thing that I've been doing for my 8 to 5 to make it manageable is I work out before work. So this sounds kind of crazy, and this is why I'm going to share a morning routine in the future. But I've been waking up at 4:35. So basically from 4:30 to around 6. That's my 2-hour window of waking up, depending on if I'm taking a workout class or not and what time that class is. So recently, I try to go to workout classes that are around 5:36 because then the class is around an hour and then I have a little bit of time to go home, eat, walk Miso, go to work before 8 a.m. But the reason why I absolutely love working out before work is one reason is because I get so exhausted. It's kind of like going to school all day. I'm just so exhausted by the end of the day. I don't want to do anything. So I know if I do it before work, then I knew I got my workout in. I had the energy at the moment. Oh, another reason is if I have work at 8 a.m., I will probably just wake up at 7:30 then. But if I book myself a class that's at 5 a.m., you best believe I'm going to be there because 1, I paid for the class, and 2, there's a cancellation fee. So that's double fees for an hour class that I can go to. I just need to get my butt up. So when you go to a workout before work, you're increasing your energy levels and you're also going to improve your overall focus and productivity throughout the whole day. So those are a little bit of technical reasons of why you should work out before work. Or you just move your body in general. I just prefer it before work. Next is moving my body throughout the day helps me with stress. I am just a very stressed, anxious type of person, and I know that if I get myself up, I've already set a positive tone for the rest of the day, and it's going to go so well. And I've learned that it's improved my mood and honestly just boost my whole brain fog in general. I actually emailed my doctor 2 days ago about brain fog, so we should see what he says. But I think most people know this, but maybe not. But exercise releases endorphins, which is your natural mood boosting chemical in your brain. And that promotes positive outlook and reduces your midday energy slumps. I don't know about you, but I get so tired around 2-3 o'clock. That's also why I like to go to work early because I get really tired. And I think it was on my first day of work, I was sitting in the desk with my manager and he was explaining stuff and my eyes were defocusing from the laptop because I was falling asleep while he was talking to me. So if I work out before work, it kind of wakes me up a little bit more and then I get to go home around that midday slump. Also, it's just about prioritizing yourself and your health and fostering that sense of accomplishment and self-confidence. When I go into work and I have already worked out, I've already walked my dog, showered, ate breakfast, I feel so good about myself because it is 8 a.m. and I have done a numerous amount of things on my list. So it's either sometimes the days that I don't work out, I just go into work earlier too. I've also learned that it helps regulate my sleep because if I go to bed early, then I can wake up early and I'm moving my body when my cortisol levels are the highest. And my highest cortisol levels are in the morning, and so that's why I also don't work out usually at night because I don't want to rise my cortisol levels before I go to bed. I don't need to do a super hardcore workout before work. Sometimes that's a bit excessive. Usually I'm going for a walk or Pilates, but I've also done yoga. I think I've done a HIIT class before work. But you just gotta find what's the right time for you before work, after work, during your hour lunch break, because it's going to contribute to your overall day and going to just make you feel better in general. My third tip for getting me throughout the workday is eating 3 meals a day and also bringing snacks to work. Eating well-balanced meals throughout the day helps you maintain your energy levels and is going to clear your brain fog, help your irritability, make sure you don't get that midday slump. You're going to be more productive, finish all your tasks, and be a really good employee or employer. So it's really important to not skip breakfast. Also for hormones, it's probably for men too, but for my females for sure, if you're trying to balance your hormones, it's super important you're eating within an hour of waking up. 30 minutes is peak. So usually I will grab a snack before going to the gym if it's super early because I also don't want to pass out while I take a workout class. Like something like spin is a lot of energy for me. When my blood sugar levels get too low, I pass out. So I know it's very important for me to eat more throughout the day. I was kind of stressed about this and I made an appointment with my old RD about just how to kind of work around the work life and making sure food is in my time and not making it inconvenient for myself. So I always make sure I plan what I'm going to eat. So usually the night before my dinner, I'll make it for 2 and then my leftovers will be my lunch for the next day at work. We have a fridge at work and we also have a convection oven, so I usually put that in a glass container, put it in the fridge at work, and then when it's my lunch, when it's half an hour before my lunch, I put it in the convection oven to warm up until it's my lunch hour. So when you bring food to work and snacks, you get a little bit more sense of control and healthier choices of what you're going to eat sometimes. And also you're saving money because if you get to work and you're super hungry, you're going to order food and probably spend twice as much if you just made yourself food. And you'll for sure know you'll like it. I always make sure that my meals incorporate all the different food groups, so fiber, starch, protein, and fats. Just so it's really good for your hormones and your blood sugar levels to incorporate all of those. I've also learned that the order in which you eat food also affects your blood sugar levels, which I never knew about. And because I get low blood sugar a lot, it's very important that I just pay attention a little bit. So like a quick tip is to always eat something green or fiber rich before you start your meal, or apple cider vinegar. So usually whenever there's like a vegetable, I'll eat that first, a salad, a starter, whatever it is. And then you go and eat your proteins and fat you can eat at the same time. And then you'll eat your sugar and carbs last. But eating regularly and not fasting and not waiting until lunchtime or waiting till you get home to eat will help you prevent your energy crashes and help keep your productivity levels high. I know I get super distracted if I'm thinking about food, but also not only is food so important, you have to remember to drink water. Coconut water is so hydrating. Love coconut water. If you hate water, maybe you like soda, so get like sparkling water maybe. Also, another quick tip is don't eat at where you work. One of my coworkers, or I honestly think so many people work at their workstation, but I always, if it's not too sunny outside, I'll go outside and eat, but I don't like the sun being on me. So then if not, I'll move to a table that's near a window and I'll eat my meal, watch Netflix or chat with Max or something like that. But when you focus on your nutrition and bringing snacks and bringing meals to work, you're setting yourself up for success and you're promoting just a balanced lifestyle and proper nutrition, and you're just going to thank yourself, because I don't want to be rushing home at 5 o'clock because I'm starving and I haven't eaten all day. That's not fun. But I kind of wanted to go in order of waking up, getting enough sleep, then you have your flex hours, so going into work early and working out, then bringing nutrition. It's somewhat in order, but kind of out of order at the same time. However, my boss was out of work for a week and he told me I could use his office, which was so nice of him. And he has the super fancy standing desk. I know standing desks were super popular over TikTok like a year or two ago, mainly during COVID when everyone was working from home. But this is my first time ever using a standing desk, and holy moly, I loved it. I didn't think I would like it because I love sitting. There's so many benefits to it. So I personally have really bad posture. That puts strain on your neck, your shoulders, your back. And so standing desk kind of promotes better posture and also just gets your body moving. If did have a standing desk, I don't. I only got to use it when my boss was out of town, but I would get a walking pad. Walking pads are also so popular, and you could walk 10 miles at work. You're working for 8 hours. You can just put on a very low level and walk your heart out. I think that's so freaking awesome. I wish I had a standing desk and I'd buy a walking pad. So personally, when I was using the standing desk, I just noticed that my energy levels and my focus were so much more productive throughout the day, because when I would fall asleep, it would be because I'm sitting down. But when I was standing, I would turn on some music, which we'll talk about later. I would freaking dance. I would type away and dance because I just needed to get some energy out. Also, standing just encourages you to take more active breaks, and like I said, you can stretch, you can walk or dance around like I did, and it promotes a sense of when you get distracted, instead of going on your phone. You shouldn't be going on our phone at work. I know I do it sometimes, but it'd be better if I just walked, did a little stretch. Okay, so that's all I have to say about a standing desk and why I loved it so much. I really wish I had one. If I get hired full time, I'm definitely gonna ask for a standing desk, because just be standing all day. It's so good for you. When my feet hurt, then I'll just sit down. My next tip is about music and podcasts. So some jobs are super mindless and it's very straightforward. I'm kind of a robot at work. My stuff is mindless. I don't even have to think. I'm just editing and calling people. So luckily, I'm allowed to put headphones in and listen to music, listen to a podcast, and I probably listen to a few podcasts a day at work, just at work, or a book. Music, podcasts, listen to this podcast, Audible books, have the opportunity to just make you feel so much more motivated, makes you excited to go to work. Because even if there's not a lot of people in my office, so when I play a podcast and listen to somebody talking, it feels like I'm just on FaceTime with one of my friends and I don't feel so lonely, and for sure makes me stay awake and gives me energy. One thing I do is I have a notebook right on my desk, and anytime in the podcast or like this is something that makes me more productive. For some reason, when I don't want to be doing something, I think of everything that else I could be doing or something I need to be doing, my ongoing to-do list. So I have this notebook next to my computer, and anytime something on that podcast or just a random thought comes into my brain, I write it down. I write it down so I can think about it later, but if I don't write it down, I'll definitely forget it, or I just won't stop pondering on it and I'll want to do whatever that is at that moment. Podcasts are such a great opportunity for you to learn, be informed, entertain yourself when you're super bored at work, just lifestyle in your 20s types of things. But maybe you're super into finance. The Financial Feminist is a great podcast, or maybe you're really into interviews. Go to The Skinny Confidential. Maybe you love murder podcasts. Go to your own backyard crime junkies. But good music podcasts can help your mundane everyday task at work just feel a little bit less repetitive and gets you excited to go. And it gives you also like a background noise to help you ignore all the distractions at work and improve what you're already doing. So there's so many benefits to really figuring out what type of podcast you want to listen to and what music also resonates with you. All right, I have 2 last tips for you on how to implement health and wellness into your work life and make it a little bit more manageable. These two kind of go together. I've mentioned them a little bit, but the first thing is, if you can, I would have your desks by a window. Luckily, my whole office is basically windows, so that just promotes a lot of natural light to come in, and there's so many advantages to natural light. So first of all is it really helps with our internal clock, and it improves your mood and productivity because it helps your circadian clock, but natural light has been shown to improve your mental and physical well-being. I know that I feel so much better when I'm in the sun. That's why I try to go outside on my lunch break, because your melatonin, when you're in natural light, it helps regulate that, and your melatonin is a hormone that influences your sleep-wake cycle, leading to better sleep patterns and overall health. So if you're in the sun when the sun is out, you're going to be able to fall asleep a lot better. And we all feel better when we can see outside. Nobody wants to be sitting in a jail cell if it's up to you, you know? We're going to go into artificial light a little bit, but when you're sitting near like a light, I always dim, like when I was in those offices, I would dim the lights because there was enough windows in the office for me not to have the overhead light on. I also just hate overhead lights. I'm pretty sensitive to that type of stuff, and it saves energy, creates more. Honestly, in my house, I never have the lights on anyways. But really bright artificial lights can cause strain on your eye or disrupt your natural sleep-wake cycles, and it's then will be harder to fall asleep and wake up. Personally, I get headaches and just don't feel well. And now we're going to go into what to do with your electronics, and one of them is, so we have so many electronics and they all give out blue light, which also suppresses the production of melatonin, making it hard for you to fall asleep. So the first day I did at work was, there's a dark mode or night saving light on your computer at work and your phone and your laptop. And dark mode reduces the amount of blue light emitted from your screens to help reduce your eye strain and fatigue. My first day of work, I had a headache because I was like, holy crap, I have 3 monitors staring at me, a little phone by myself, and they're all so bright. And if you're at work for 8 hours, that's a lot of time to be just staring at a screen. So for me, I put it in dark mode, which makes it black with white lettering, which honestly was easier for me to read anyways, and it's better on my eyes. I'm pretty sure it also conserves the battery life of your laptop. I have a lot of light sensitivity with my eyes. I think it's just a great idea if you're trying to limit eye strain and make sure you don't get headaches and just kind of feel better in general. Oh, also on your phone, there's a red light you can put a filter over, and I put that filter at night. You just triple click on your home. You would have to just look it up how to set it up, but basically that also helps limit blue light. Okay, now about blue light though, you need to order blue light glasses. I ordered blue light glasses after the first day I worked because I had such a bad headache, and it basically protects your eyes from all the bad effects from blue light that comes from our screens. Because blue light, like I already said, disrupts your sleep-wake cycles and also causes eye strain. I once heard that blue light glasses have to be around $30 for them to be legit, not like $10. But I found some on Amazon that were pretty good actually, and it came with this little light to actually test if it was working or not. So I wear blue light glasses all day at work, and then also when I go home and it's nighttime already, because I want to limit the amount of blue light I'm looking at. There's also sunscreen that permits against UV rays, sunscreen, and blue light because it's also bad for your skin. Okay, so some of my tips I gave you guys were: get a good night's rest of sleep, try to go to work as early as you can, try to work out before work or after work, make sure you're bringing food to work, snacks, a meal, try to sit next to a window or go outside during your break, dim the lights, get away from artificial light, order blue light glasses if you don't have them already. Those were just some of my tips and tricks that I'm using to maintain this corporate lifestyle because I think I'm going to be in it for at least the next couple of years, and it's a large portion of your life. So make it enjoyable, make it work for you. Don't let it deteriorate your health, and find those little ways to improve your health, honestly. Like having the walking pad under your desk, you're improving your life by walking and moving 8 hours a day. All right, I hope you all found maybe 1 or 2 tips that will improve your work-life balance. I'll have so many updates for you guys next week after going to Chicago. Follow me on Instagram, my Perspective Pod, and TikTok, which is Shell Bright. I will talk to you guys next week, and I'm so excited.